Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. We're driving again. Just seems to be the way this is working right now. This month is driving month. So, the election. Oh my God, the election. Everyone's stressing out about the election. And my friend just keeps pushing on me and pushing on me and pushing on me. Today, the proof that Donald Trump wants to end the rule of law in the country is that someone from the Hill found 20 Republican-affiliated attorneys general who support Biden. So, you know, this is one of those things where it's not even worth the effort to go look, because this is not proof. This is, all right, someone with an opinion and an axe to grind went and found a couple of dudes, 20, who don't like Donald Trump. Okay. I mean, this is news. This is journalism. This is fucking popularity fights on a web forum is what this is. There's nothing there. There's no meat to this. You know, this isn't, Donald Trump proved his unfitness for office by doing this, by enacting that policy. It's just, I don't like Trump. And I found other people who don't like Trump. So Trump is evil. And it's objective. And there's nothing objective about this, right? There's nothing there. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to bust my friend's balls. You know, and here's the thing. If I attack the Hill, then he's going to come out with, oh, fake news conspiracy, you just don't like the source. No, I don't particularly like the source, but it's not because I think that the source can't report news or can't report facts. It's that the source is taking an opinion piece and presenting it as news. That is literally fake news. That's not a conspiracy. That's not, oh my God, stuff that Donald Trump fans don't like is automatically fake news, which is what he says. You know, and I called him on it pretty harshly on a public media thing, and he's like, oh, you're putting words in my mouth. I'm like, no, dude, really? If I say, oh, great, you got the Hill, to find some opinion reporter to gather 20 names of people who don't like Trump. That's not news. That's literally fake news. It's not incorrect news. It's not lying. It's fake. The fact that it is presented as news is what is fake. Fake news. All right. You know, this is part of that thing where I'm like, give me a reason. Tell me why Donald Trump is so much worse a choice than Joe Biden. Like, tell me why. So he talks about the rule of law, okay? And you know, this idea is that these attorneys general have said that Donald Trump is a threat to the rule of law. Okay, great. That's your opinion. Now show me fact. Show me a policy position. Show me how this works. James Biden. James Biden is the brother of Joe Biden. James Biden gets put on the board of directors of a company. That company suddenly, out of the blue, gets a contract to build cages. Literally, concentration camps for Obama's immigration service. Okay, I'm going to say that is a viable, verifiable, realistic threat to the rule of law. When you have the ability to use family members to secretly influence policy and money on a federal monetary spending on a federal level, then you have violated the idea of rule of law. That's easy. Nancy Pelosi, today, as I record this, The Republicans gave her pretty much everything she's been screaming and screeching about while holding up stimulus. She's been holding up the stimulus. And every time the Republicans offer a compromise, she hammers it down. They gave her everything she wanted, and she's hammering it down. Do you know why? She's willing to hurt you. She's willing to watch you die if it can hurt Donald Trump. Now, I don't know to what extent this is a threat to the rule of law, because she's in a position where she can vote no. But maybe holding Americans hostage because you want to have tribunals on a sitting president is kind of in that area where we're talking about the rule of law getting a little less important. And Mr. P, dude, show me this rule of law. He says, Donald Trump doesn't respect the Bill of Rights at all. Okay, show me. I can show you several agencies. I have friends who have been SWAT-teamed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and I shit you not, they have SWAT teams with machine guns for making cheese. Let's talk about their Bill of Rights for a minute. Let's talk about the ATF. I've been in gun culture since before Ruby Ridge, and people get arrested for having washers. Not for making suppressors, for owning fender washers. All right, let's talk about the Bill of Rights and the rule of law and the administrative state. I call it the establishment state. Mr. P will only refer to it as the deep state conspiracy. He will not acknowledge anything I say in any way other than deep state conspiracy. So fucking fine, call it the deep state. It exists, it's there. It violates the Bill of Rights. It does not like the Bill of Rights, doesn't care a single bit about individual liberty, and it is not operating as elected officials. ATF, USDA, EPA got a domestic terrorism conviction on a couple that, sorry about the sun, we're stuck for a minute. They got a domestic terrorism conviction on a couple that did a controlled burn on their property, which did not get out of control in the sense that it got out of control wildfire, but it did get a little out of bounds and burned a couple acres of federal land, which is honestly a public service because that's the whole thing about controlled burns, which I don't even know how to explain to people who don't live in the country. Okay, so controlled burn got a little out of bounds. Anyone who burns their weeds has had that happen. Anyone on a farm has had that happen. Domestic terrorism conviction, mandatory sentencing. The judge was pissed. That's what led to the Malheur Wildlife Refuge standoff, by the way. If you don't know what that was actually about, it was a protest for mandatory sentencing and conviction on domestic terror charges. That's what that was. Bill of Rights. You think Donald Trump is the threat? Maybe Donald Trump wanting to fire half the government employees isn't such a bad idea. Well, I'm going to end this quickly because of the sunlight issue, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. Stay sideways.